Hello and welcome to today's session. Got about 5 minutes till the open. How's that? Do we have sound now? Apologies about that. It was all plugged in and everything. It just wasn't connecting to the system. But basically, look, at the moment, because we're right on this close gap and previous day's high, it's such an efficient market. There's not much we can do with it until the market moves irrationally. So the market's pulling away. It's very in the middle of nowhere. Very in the middle of nowhere. So we're just waiting around. Just bear with me. Quite a busy day. So just having some food at the moment. Apologies if there's any strange sounds going on. There's not really anything happening. So very little volume coming through. As you mentioned, Christopher, the US holiday may be impacting today's trade. We're getting some action now. But so efficient. It's just hovering around that close for now. Hopefully we can get a really good, buy opportunity. I wouldn't want to buy from here because we're trading on yesterday's high. I think it'll go up, but at the same time, it's not really worth the risk because you've got to go all the way down to this pivot before you start hopefully getting a bit of a turnaround. So what I'm thinking is maybe the US holiday is just not really doing too much at all. The market's just hanging back. We'll come back tomorrow. See what this candle does. So we're on a new 5-minute candle. It's pulling away. Is that a fake out before it kind of goes back into itself? There's not really enough volatility in it just yet anyway to actually take these trades. So let's say that pulls away a little bit more and you want to get in long, you might only get 5 or 10 points out of it. Here we go. We're pulling away a little bit. That's good. Some quality selling there. Hopefully we can break through, get some really thin volume all the way down to the pivot, followed by a massive order. That's what we want to see. And we're using the order flow as evidence that people are in the market and buying. So it looks like it's kind of not going to break just yet. Very boring session to start off the day. So basically we're probably going to have to wait for the market to drift to a certain level that's not the close, so that it becomes a little bit inefficient, a little bit differentiated from where it should be, and then we can actually look for opportunities to get in. But from this level, it could be okay to buy, but I am hoping that the market pulls back a little bit so we have a better entry. What are you seeing in the market, Christopher? Are you aiming to get in, or are you just waiting for the market to get into a better position? Or yeah, if it goes up, we don't really have an entry point to get in. It's kind of a little bit risky. I think, to get in long just in the middle of nowhere. So it's very sideways. Look at that, very little range. Like you said, actually, previously, the pre-market might be a better time to trade. Like, this is just not very attractive open of the market volatility. This is looking quite strong, but still not worth it, based on the analysis anyway. And we've got this 6-7 here. That to me looks like selling. So we had the ask order fill up, and then 647 below, 657, so it's aggressive selling, pushing the market down after hitting what looks to be a sell limit. But we've got a very strong wick here. If we break these highs, you know, perhaps this market will go up all day. So you can see on the volume profile, it looks like it's going to probably range in such a tight little area just around this close gap. So basically no opportunities for proper traders or, you know, retail traders to get in and out, because you've got, you know, let's say you've got a couple of points of spread. You've got to sit there and watch, and then if it does break out, you've lost all your hard work. So yeah. And the reason I think is, so we had the ask sell limit on the 7, followed by aggressive selling. It looked like it was pushing lower, and then it kind of like, it spiked up a little bit, but very thin volume. And now it's starting to come down. So that kind of activity is important to note. And then obviously this kind of activity down here, and it's really just like bouncing between the volume profiles. And we're not getting a breakout just yet anyway. Look, if we can get some really thin volume, like more aggressive selling and then thin volume to get that volatility. But I'm not sure we're going to get it, particularly because there is that US holiday. People are probably just going to say, look, I'm going to wait it out today, wait for all the markets to be active, all the sessions, all the traders and funds, because it's just not worth getting into a volatile market when it's not moving very much, and it's not in an inefficient location. So we're just hovering around this close gap. It's exactly where it should be at the open, you know, based on a range of theories, and it's just not pulling away from it. So it makes it very challenging, unless you're on like high frequency trading, to actually make any money out of this. Like, let's have a look at the range. It's about 30 points total range back and forth in the last 10 odd minutes. It's just really not, and then you've got your spread, and then you're probably not going to hit the bottom and top every time, so you're taking that amount away from your potential maximum trade. Here we go. Something's happening here. Now, the 8 and 10 on the ask side could be sell limits followed by aggressive selling, but it's pushing up quite hard. So let's see if this can be reversed, or if we're going to just spike through. I really can't tell based on that activity. Like, this looks like aggressive selling. but we've broken past that high, so it's a bit funny. It's a strange market today. 23 contracts there. A bit more aggressive buying on this side of things, unless those are ask limit orders, which I guess they could be. We're now outside of the upper band on the 5 minutes. We're pushing through. So it's almost like it caught any traders that are going short off this range, hoping that it would stay in that range. It's caught them out probably. And it's powering up now. We'll see if we can get a bit of a turnaround, a bit more activity on the mini contracts. Sometimes they're a leading indicator as to the market might turn around before they start putting their full contracts in. Very hard to trust the price action. Look, at the moment, unless we get a really nice move into one of these levels, it's pretty much too hard to read, and it's not worth the risk, unfortunately. So it's just one of those days, I think, where it's best to be patient, wait until you see that trading setup that is just undeniably good, and that's where you can make your money. Whereas days like this, like I said, it looked like it was building. You could probably get away with going long, but there's every chance that it'll go short. So it's not worth it, in my opinion. Plus, you'd be sitting there thinking, every time it pulls back, like, oh, okay, is it going down now? There's not really that much to back it up based on the pivot points. This looks like selling to me. So we've got an ask limit that's higher, followed by some aggressive selling, pushing it down. But then it kind of fades here. It's not getting that traction to push it further. Got a new candle. Let's have a look at the 15 minutes, see what that kind of looks like. Cycling through some of the time frames, see if we get a different picture. Market's gone up a little bit, probably taken out some stops, people looking to just put their stop 2 points above the highs there. It's taken them out and retraced back in. Let's see if it'll continue higher. There's just not too much conviction on any side, either the buyers or the sellers. And I guess we've got probably about 60 points there, but the risk is massive. So we've got, let's say that's about 60 points, or 40 points, or 60 from the bottom to the top. You can pretty much double that to get to the pivot or the R1. So that's the pivot, the purple line down here. This is the R1 up top. And there's a long way to go from where it is now. So we're just not getting that volatility based on the pivot point calculations from yesterday's trading. So I don't know if you were able to watch the shorts where I talk about what happened yesterday, but the market basically went straight to target. So that's the extreme gap and the close gap. Hit them both within the hour, and then excellent buying opportunity off those points. It did come back down and formed a double bottom there. Very good buying. Coming to yesterday's highs. Yesterday's highs after the market. So you've got the official cash high at that red line there, which we've already surpassed. And then look at that thin volume though. There's just nothing in it. There's no trading in this section. So there's just not really enough data to say what direction this market's going to go. I think I said earlier, I do have a feeling it's going to be quite a bullish kind of a day, but I was hoping for a pullback first. because I didn't want to get long off that close because there's every chance it could go the other way. So you want to wait for a better opportunity or a good opportunity where you can say, right, I think this should turn around from here. Whereas trading off that close and the previous day's high, it's just in the middle of nowhere. It's too risky. Very slow market. I'm wondering if that is because of the US holiday as well. Yeah. Just the buy it open. Such an easy strategy, and it works a lot. It works a lot. And then off any pullbacks as well. So I ran an algorithm for a period of time that took any pullbacks that were, let's say, X amount on the daily, and it just bought a contract, or 0.1 of a contract, a lot, every once a day, and it just did that and stacked a big order, and it turned out quite well. But it's just about being able to take that drawdown when it happens, because it does happen, and you just hang out and wait. This market's going right up. Now, if we can get to the R1 and see some activity on the order flow, that would be ideal. Because if we're not using these levels, we're basically guessing, unless, of course, there's a massive order comes through in the order flow as well. That can be a good indication too. So the market looks like it's doing a bit of a fake out pullback. Like, for example, I'd love to get short from here off the basis of the R1. And we're close enough, but it looks like, well, I'm hoping it's a bit of a fake out. So it pretends to go down and then it'll actually keep rallying. So we'll see if it plays. Did you build it yourself, Christopher, or is it like a bought one? I think I made about $800 today, or maybe it was 600 on so I built a Forex program for MT5. Yeah, I would never trust a service because generally people don't really understand the market. And then you've got the crossover between two people. So you've got the coder and then you've got the trader, and they don't really understand each other, so they talk different languages. And I find it I've just never really found somebody that actually has a good algo that is on offer. I run my own, and it runs on about 5 or 6 Forex pairs. And today I think it was up about $600 or $800, so I closed all the positions. But it just runs in the background, super low volume, and every now and then it goes okay. So still building up the data, of course, on that algo, just to see, long term, how does it actually pan out. But so far so good. It's been running for a couple of years, I think, 2 or 3 years. It's not making amazing dollars, but I think overall it's positive. Yeah, the only other algorithm that I feel works is like an index buying algorithm. So it slowly purchases and accumulates the indices because they're meant to go up. They're designed to go up long term. But the trick is you've got to be able to sustain the drawdowns when they happen. Look, we didn't quite get up to that R1, but it's kind of just moseying about right now. It'd be great if we can just get a bit more of a spike up, followed by a big ask order indicating a sell limit. I'm guessing you don't code at all, Christopher? Because I guess that's why I learned to code originally, was because I didn't really trust. This looks like it's maybe starting to build up to the downside. I'd love it to just pop up a little bit before we get in. It's very tempting. So yeah, I guess, yeah, many years ago, I wanted to automate the process, and that's what got me interested in coding, how it works, automating these systems, because it's very mathematical. Oh wow, okay, and that's obviously where you got your I guess ability to understand the costume and that sort of thing too. That's really cool. Look, a little bit more, so it looks like it's building a little bit. If we can just get a nice pop up, even if it was super, this is very optimistic of me, but if we got a really nice push up into the R2, very aggressive, very volatile, followed by the right order flow information, it would be great to get it to turn around. But yeah, I guess the deeper I got into this industry, the more I realised that to make something that works, this looks like it could be turning now. I'd be tempted to give it a go, but obviously wary that it could continue higher. It just looks like it's building up though. $12 contracts there, could be a sell. We'll see if the buyers say, right, no, actually we're going to go higher, or if they let it go and we push down a little further. Very tricky market today. It's not really doing anything in particular. Yeah, it's probably just going to hover around for some time. Like ideally it would just fold and kind of complete the U shape. But yeah, you're probably right. I think it's going to just jump around, fake people in and out. And then eventually I think it probably will turn back down at some point, but yeah, I think the channel is more likely. It looks like somebody's selling from this point. 16 contracts. If we can get a bit more aggression to the downside, yeah, that would be ideal. So we've almost hit the R1, but there's almost no volume there. So, yeah, perhaps the market's not going to respect this level. It'd be great if we can just pop up, get a big seller to come in, and then be able to get short. But so far, we haven't received the evidence that we need, I think. Still waiting for it. 5 contracts, 7. It's not massive, but it's a slight indication. Be good if we can get a bit more evidence to say, right, this is it. But, you know, if I was guessing, I'd be tempted to get in with a really tight stop, really tight, because there's every chance this will continue higher. Ten contracts on the ask side. When it pulls back, it doesn't really go very far, which makes me concerned. Oh, there we go. Slowly moving. It sort of probably caught out people that were a bit hesitant, you know, getting in front of this kind of action. It's always a bit scary. So there we go. It's pulled back a little bit, but let's see if we can break this low. So it's like Christmas, Boxing Day, which is like, I guess, a secondary Christmas, and then New Year's Eve or New Year's Day is the public holiday, but no Thanksgiving, no. Do you guys do that over there? It'd be nice and cool, I'm sure, not like snowing and that kind of thing too, which here it's very hot and dry for the Christmas period. Okay, come on. Look, I'd love to see this market just fall away, but at the same time, I'm not super confident. You know, it's just one of those trading sessions that aren't, it's not moving too much. Oh, of course, yeah. All right, new candle, 30-minute. Let's have a look at the M30. Look, it's very small. Hopefully this is it. Look at that. It looks really good on the M30 because we've hit that upper Bollinger Band. Yeah, there's every chance it may not respect it. Just be wary of that. But it looks pretty good. You know, on the 30-minute. On the 15, it's like, oh, you know, so-so. But, yeah, it could be worth a go. If you're not already in, I'm not too sure. But the other thing to watch is what Christopher said. There could be algos that once we hit this bottom, we'll go a little bit past it and it'll come up and wipe everyone out that's brought their stops in, and then kind of channel for a little while before it actually picks a direction. So you've just got to watch that. Look, we're kind of pulling away a little bit, hit that band. If we can really break through, all right, come on. If we can break through properly, get some nice thin volume and push us lower. Because just remembering that the algos do seem to have control, and it can kind of do things that fake everyone out. So we want to get a nice clean push. A bit of buying coming in there. Hopefully we can break through that. I'd hate to be trading with big volume on a day like today. It looks okay. But yeah, just... it's not really my ideal type of trading condition, where it kind of jumps around and comes back and forth and doesn't really respect the levels all that much. Like, it looks good, but when you're sitting in that kind of activity, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it comes all the way down to the previous day's high. But like you said, I do think that there may be a bit of a channel to take people out on the way through. Anyone that brings their stops to break even, it might kind of pop up. We're getting a bit more traction now. It's just taking time, and it's taking a bit too long. Like it's not saying, right, this is it, we're going down. It's kind of hovering, it's going back and forth. So while I think it will come back down to probably, let's say the mid band, wherever that lands, I think it's kind of very much a fake out kind of a market today. That on the M30, very nice setup there, but I'm just not convinced because it just doesn't. It doesn't have the movement that I like. So you just got to be patient if you do want to put a risk reward kind of set up and it's worthwhile, then perhaps it is worth it. But for me, I'm just not certain about the way the market's moving. Yeah, true. It did eventually go, and it looked like it was building, but I really thought that, I guess if the market did pull away, it just wouldn't be worth holding that position to the downside because you got so far away. But now we've hit that R1, I am really hoping that it does have a nice pullback here. And who knows, we might even go all the way down to the pivot from this point. But then again, I do agree with the concept of the algo channeling, and it'll probably come back up to stop people out that have brought their stops to break even. It's just one of those days for that kind of activity, I think. Here we go. Yeah, look at that. What an absolute pain. So it's probably going to come up, just mess around with people's stops at break even. Ideally, we do fall all the way down to, this mid-band line. But it's just very slow activity, almost like an options expiry. Yeah, usually it goes on for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but you only had to wait, what was it? It was a 10-minute candle. So not too bad. Maybe I'm just getting a bit impatient. I like massive volatility where it's very clear what's going on. Look, anyway, I'm hoping the market does pull back to this mid-band line wherever it lands. Just obviously being cautious that if we do break above this, we could be heading up towards the R2 and breakout long area. So just be wary that if it does come up and break above this high, it may be continuing on further. But at the moment, let's hope it does pull back to around this area where my mouse is. That's enough from me, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you coming back, Christopher, and having a chat as well. Best of luck with your trading, and we'll see how the market plays out. Thank you. Goodbye.